I'm making this video to discuss History Debunked channel and Simon, who is the voice of the channel. I've followed his channel for quite a few months after discovering it recommended to me on YouTube, which is a bit surprising considering the content of the channel. I've noticed that the majority, pretty much all of his videos are an anti-immigrant stance. They are talking about immigrants from Africa, Asia, Middle East, those kind of people. I've noticed though, a few months ago he uploaded a video saying people in his comments have been mentioning Israel is behind the mass immigration to Europe and specifically Britain.
Hello again. When I asked earlier today who was funding the millions of pounds spent on legal challenges made by refugees and asylum seekers in Britain, it was suggested by many people commenting here that Israel was at the back of it. I'm mystified by this idea.
And he asked the question, how would immigration to Britain benefit Israel?
Would it be to Israel's advantage financially if Europe were to be flooded with immigrants from Africa and South Asia? If so, how would this work? The question I'm asking is a very simple and limited one. Why would Israel wish to promote large-scale immigration to Britain from Africa and Asia, and in what way would this benefit the State of Israel?
I thought he was being sarcastic. Like, I thought he was trying to sort of act innocent for YouTube. Because, he would be able to point to this video and say, look, I'm not anti-Semitic. Look, I don't hate Jews. If that's what people are saying in his comments, he would be able to use this as a defense in that argument. Well, that's what I thought. But then, just today, he's uploaded a video, the anti-Jewish pogroms in South Wales, a forgotten episode in British history. He's talking about the anti-Jewish riots of 1911 in South Wales, specifically Tredegar. Now, I was actually quite happy to see he made this video, first of all, when it came up, because this is something I've known about for a few years. So I was kind of looking forward to watching it. But upon watching his video, I noticed he left out a lot of facts. He worded things in a very suspicious way, such as saying that in Tredegar, the Jews only own 17 shops, whereas when you're talking about a place like Tredegar or anywhere in South Wales, 17 shops is a massive monopoly, especially over 100 years ago when populations were much smaller and there wasn't as many people in South Wales, and they were mostly rural people.
Tredegar was a town containing 20,000 people. Of these, only a handful of 30 families were Jews. The rumour began to be spread that these Jews monopolised the shops and other businesses in the town. There were in fact just 17 Jewish shopkeepers in Tredegar, along with a rabbi and one or two other businesses.
The thing to remember is that a lot of the Jews in South Wales were landlords, and the actual workers, the local Welsh people, there was a railway strike, there was a coal strike, the pay for the mines had just been reduced. Not just the mines, sorry, also a lot of industries in the area, the wages were going down. Hundreds of Welsh people were dying in the mines in accidents such as explosions and collapses. The Welsh people were getting poorer. They were dying. They were feeling like slaves, and they felt like the Jews controlled their entire lives, and that's the reason why they actually started the riots. It came from anger, and This is something that Simon forgets to mention.
Then rioting began in Tredegar with the aim of driving out all the Jews living there. Shops were besieged and looted, the police being unable to cope with this new outburst of violence. From Tredegar, the anti-Jewish rioting spread to Ebervale, Bryn Mawr, Bargoed and several other villages and towns. The single avowed aim of those taking part in these disturbances was to drive all the Jews from South Wales.
He simply just puts it as racist anti-Semitism, saying that the Welsh people just hated Jews for no reason and just basically calling us Nazis, when the issue was a lot deeper than that.
Pogroms and violent anti-Semitism are the sort of thing which might have happened in Nazi Germany or perhaps even Soviet Russia, but not really in Britain.
It's also really strange that his whole channel is anti-immigration, only British people should be in Britain, British values should be respected, etc. Stuff like that. That's what he says, except for Jewish immigrants. For some reason, he is very happy to have them. He wants them protected. If they do anything bad, it doesn't matter. He'll overlook it. They get special protections. It's very weird that he's become pro-immigration only for Jewish immigrants. It's very strange that he would victimize them in a similar manner to other things we've seen before.
I might mention that Jews are still not all that popular in that part of South Wales to this day.
The amazing thing is, there's a BBC article from 2013 about the 1911 anti-Jewish Tredegar riots, and that article from the BBC is less biased than History Debunked. Seems to me that Simon's interest may not actually be in protecting Britain.